letter. So in proper words, a written or printed communication directed to a person or organization. This is the proper definition of a letter. We're going to learn next about the importance of letters. Now, why letters were written? Okay, usually they were written to represent the company public image or their competence. More personal than a report, yet more formal than memos or email. It was more permanent than an email. It also constitutes an official legal record of an agreement. Next is parts of the letters. So here we are going to see how we write the letter, what are the important parts that we need to keep in mind. So the first is the heading. In the heading, you can include your address and the date. And in casual friendly letters where you would write it to either a family member or somebody close, a friend, okay, your address is not necessary in that case. Then we have next is salutation, also known as greetings. So the greeting always ends with a comma. The greeting may be formal, beginning with the word dear and using the person's given name or relationship, or it may be informal if appropriate. Example, dear uncle, hi Joe. The next part of the letter is the body. So the body consists of what message are you conveying to the person who you're writing the letter to. So the body of the letter is the information you're writing in your letter. It includes the message you want to write. Normally, in a friendly letter, the beginning of paragraphs is intended. It usually includes an introduction where we greet the person and state the reason we are writing. So that is the heading, the starting of the body. Then the main body, we develop the subject and conclusion or signaling the end where we use suitable remarks such as invite, send greeting, etc. or indicate that the letter is going to finish. So even the body, it consists of three parts where initially we're just greeting and very soft details about the person where we mention, then the main message of the letter, the reason why we are writing the letter, and then the third part is we are ending the letter, so we are concluding it. To start a line of writing towards the middle of the page, then other lines, and then the last is the closing. The short expression is always a few words on a single line. In the closing, the first word is capitalized and you put a comma after the last word. And then the last part of the letter is a signature line. This is your name. It goes under the closing. So when you end the letter, you need to mention who the letter is sent by. So you'll always put as regards with a comma and then your name. So that is your closing, your end of the letter. So now I'll show you an example of a formal letter. So this is a formal letter. Again, this is writing a letter to a principal for a permission. So if you see, the topmost part of it has two, that is to whom you are addressing the letter to, their name, address, date, and the subject. The subject will include a very brief but up to the mark point, direct point, wherein you're giving a hint of what the reason for the letter is. Such as if you want a leave, you write the subject as leave application, or you need permission for a certain to attend a certain party or a certain event, so you're going to mention that. So if you read through the letter, it says dear sir. You either write sir, okay, or you can also write the person's name. The first part, the body of the letter, consists, my name is Akash Bhargav and I'm studying in class 9th. I'm from section A and my roll number is 6. So here the person who's writing the letter is giving information about himself because this is a formal letter. I am writing this letter to seek permission for an upcoming science event where I was selected among 650 students. This event will take place on Friday, 3rd March, during the school time, and the venue of the event is T Nagar. So here the student is asking permission for attending the science event. So that is his main body, the main paragraph, okay, the main subject why he is writing the letter. And then the next paragraph states, I will have to miss my regular classes that day and I will be possibly representing our school. Please grant me 1 day's leave and grant permission to attend the event. Okay. So here he's requesting for the leave. And then in our closing, we have waiting for your prompt reply. So if you see, as I said, the closing, it needs to be short. It needs to be a short expression of few words in a single line. So waiting for your prompt reply is the closing of the letter, wherein the person who's writing the letter is giving indication to the person that he's finishing the letter. And then the signature line has thanks and the person's name, Akash Bhargav, who wrote the letter. So this is a formal letter. This is an example of a formal letter. We then have an informal letter where you would usually write to a friend. Okay, so you don't need to have your address mentioned there. Okay, it would be the person who you're sending the letter to. Okay, and you can just start with Dear Scott. Okay, and if you read through the letter, it's a very friendly, giving him information. They are two best friends. Okay, it can be anything that you want to pass a message to a friend. So you would write a letter. Okay, and then we also have a few practice exercises wherein for your own practice you can try writing a letter. So here there are two examples of a formal and an informal letter. So in the first part it says, write a leave letter to your principal mentioning the dates and reason for your absence. So like how we saw the formal letter where Akash Bhargav was asking for leave permission. So a similar way, you need to write a letter to your principal asking for permission for leave. The next letter is an informal letter. So write a letter to your young cousin doing graduation to pick up the habit of reading newspapers, highlighting how it is helping you in your career. So here this is like giving advice to a friend or a cousin in this matter, okay, in this current situation. Okay, letting your cousin know how reading papers helps you improve, what are the good points in reading a letter, so all the goodness in reading a newspaper. So these are the two practice exercises where you can practice for writing a letter. With this, I conclude my letter writing training. Thank you.